Winter may be cold and unforgiving, but it carries with it the quiet promise of spring. This is the story of one woman and her ferrets, stepping into the future with fresh eyes and a whole lot of questionable DIY to play on. Last winter was cold, long, quiet, and heavier than usual. After Luffy passed, suddenly in October, the side of the run he shared with Zoro stood still. Not just empty, but abandoned. I'll be honest, I couldn't bring myself to touch it for a while. Instead, it became a resting place for old projects and leftover parts, DIY tasks gone by, a little scrapyard of memories, gathering dust as they waited for the next adventure to consume them. But spring always comes.
What do you think, Zoro?
Buds push out of the branches. The sunlight glistening on the water stretches out a little longer each day. And the warmth you thought might be lost inside you starts to come back too. With Zoro and the girls now living happily together, the time felt right for me to move on as well. To turn the page, clear out the winter blues, and build something new. Something to help us celebrate the past at the same time as embracing whatever the future brings. I knew I wanted to make a freestanding climbing frame that I could move about as the enclosure evolves. After all, variety is one of the most powerful tools we have when it comes to ferret enrichment.
I pulled out what I've got to work with, so let's see if we can figure out how it's all going to go together.
I had plenty of wood sheets and batons, and some ready-made wire-covered panels that I took out of the ferret's old run. And of course, I still had a few bits of the ferret's favourite astroturf lying about. I drew up a rough plan, not that I had any expectation of sticking to it, but I thought I should at least start out acting like I knew what I was doing.
So it's a big ramp going up there, lounging platform on top there, lounging platform there, access to hanging basket there, a crisscross climbing bit there.
Then armed with my screwdriver, jigsaw and the old faithful staple gun, I got to work.
I want to make this ramp climbable, less slippy, and I thought rather than putting the astroturf on it, I'm going to use this stuff it's kind of like a really rough sandpaper, and it's designed for making steps safe for humans, but I thought with it being so rough, it might actually help them wear their claws down a little bit.
With my latest masterpiece, about as good as I can make it, I'm going to keep you in suspense a little longer, because I have a couple more less glamorous things to attend to first.
Are you excited?
Number 1, install a splashback. Ferrets love to back into corners to poop. Unfortunately, plasterboard walls do not love being pooped on. They're absorbent, like a sponge, a poop sponge. So I improvised and slid a cheap plastic placemat into the problem area. Elegant? No. Effective? Hopefully. Next, I gave the whole run a proper clean. Jet washed it until it sparkled. Or at least until I'd washed away the crust of neglect I'd allowed to build up.
So here it is, my new structure. As you can see, it's 3 levels. There's a top level there with ways to climb up. Those of you who saw the big divide package that I did when I split the cage back where we used to be, I took those panels out and I've just reused those panels. Scruffles likes to climb this stuff, so there's somewhere for her to climb to there. And then there's a helter-skelter down in a tunnel, or up if they're feeling athletic. Middle layer, we've got a little snuggle cube there, which is just hooked on so I can take it out and wash it. And then all the way down at the bottom, we've got a little sort of snuggle area there. That's the rug that they love playing on. It's nice actually as well, because they normally push that all over the place. But what I've been able to do is secure it under the back here. Just rested it under the back here, so that should actually stop it from being pushed off the platform onto the wet floor when it's raining. And then this ramp up it's on hinges, which makes it sort of suitable for various different heights if I end up putting it somewhere else.
By the time I was done, it was late in the day, and there had been so much interest in my activity from next door, I didn't think the ferrets would have enough energy left to enjoy it. So I waited until the next morning to open the new attraction.
Wear those nails down. Good. Whoa.
In this space I had allowed to turn grey and lifeless over the winter, sunshine poured back in. The birds chirped, and 3 little adventurers set out to conquer their new kingdom, with echoes of their lost companion in every panel. There was much sniffing. There was scaling. There were dramatic pauses and triumphant scrambles. Scruffles tested the ramp first.
First to attempt the climb.
Wriggles claimed the hanging fleece box. Zoro, ever the dignified swordsman, he did a full inspection before curling up on the fluffy bottom rug like a retired general surveying his new outpost. So what began as a sad and forgotten, unused space is now a springtime sanctuary, built from scraps, fueled by memories, and naturally 40% held together by hope and 10mm staples. What do you think? Are you planning any playful spring makeovers yourself? Share your stories in comments, as you know I love to read them and always reply. And if this brought you a smile or made you want to build your own wobbly tribute to spring, booping the like and subscribe buttons is the digital equivalent of booping these adorable snoots. So what are you waiting for? Those snoots aren't going to boop themselves. See you next time, Floof Crew.